No action on track this weekend, so we at GPFans thought we'd bring you another special instead to whet your appetite before the Russian Grand Prix in a week's time or so. But we wanted to take you still closer to that action on track. So let's talk all about the brand new helmet cam that is coming up on our screens this season time and time again. Before we go any further though, just a reminder to hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all of the specials and news that we drop throughout the week here at GP Fans. But now let's talk about this fantastic new piece of kit that's invading our living rooms, or helping F1 to invade our living rooms, the new helmet camera. Since its return to Formula 1, Helmet Cam has provided spectacular images that have been really well received by the viewing audience. However, this piece of technology has its advantages and disadvantages, as we'll explore in this special. During Friday practice at the Belgian Grand Prix a few weeks ago, TV viewers were positively surprised when they found themselves thrust into the cockpit of Fernando Alonso's car. Not literally, of course, but using the new helmet camera. It made it possible to view from the driver's perspective as the Spaniard threw his Alpine through the historic twists and turns of Spa-Francorchamps. During the race weekend in Monza, this piece of kit was mounted in George Russell's helmet, but due to the height of the young Briton, the dashboard came into view quite a lot, which is one of the pain points for teams around this new bit of technology, but we'll have more on that a little later on. So where does the use of this technique actually come from? A helmet camera is certainly not new in F1. Over the years, there have been numerous experiments with live images from the cockpit. In the year 2000, for example, it was tried and tested, and also in 2012 and 2013 it made a re-emergence in the sport. After this, however, it was not used for a long time, for various reasons. One of the main ones being the quality of the picture. It's difficult to produce TV-worthy images because it's such a small camera. Then, if the driver is driving into the sun, or if they don't look perfectly ahead, it's suddenly no longer usable. It makes it just really difficult to view from inside the cockpit. In addition, some of the angles actually gave the wrong impression that Formula 1 drivers were just cruising around the track at their leisure. This is not the image that F1 wanted to broadcast to the millions of viewers around the world. The fact that the helmet images can be seen again in Formula 1 this year is mainly due to the Formula E and IndyCar series. The electrical class was the most important of these two. There has been close collaboration with Bell Helmet and Racing Force Group for the past 2 years. They have developed a system called Driver's Eye System, basically a camera the size of a Euro cent with the weight of about 2.5 grams. The camera is integrated into the helmet itself, right next to the rider's eye. This is important because it tackles the problem that a driver isn't allowed to have a camera mounted to their helmet in Formula 1. Recently, F1 announced a collaboration with both of the key parties around this system. In addition to the standard radio cable that's mounted on the helmet of the riders, an extra cable is attached for a video signal when using this camera. As soon as the driver gets into the cockpit, this cable is clicked in by one of his mechanics so that the signal can be broadcast. However, this is not a direct guarantee of successful images. As we said earlier, live images are always difficult, and the reflection of the sun and still the position of the driver's head can make things unusable. In addition to that, the speed that F1 cars travel at is also really problematic. I mean, try getting a crystal clear image when you're in a small piece of carbon fibre that's being thrown around these F1 circuits at 320 kilometers an hour. It's almost impossible at times to get a signal that's worth sending out to the millions of households watching. The teams also have to agree to the use of the camera because of the sensitive information that may come into view on the dashboard. Because the development is via Bell Racing, the technology can only be found in the helmets from Bell Helmet. Now, that big disadvantage of the helmet camera for teams is that the steering wheel and therefore the dashboard is shown, as we mentioned earlier. A large part of racing stables put a lot of money into the development of a steering wheel, and they hired a number of technical gadgets in, on and around it. Williams' steering wheel, for example, was extensively shown at Monza due to Russell's height in the car. From our point of view, it's not ideal, but if the viewers find it interesting and entertaining, then it's part of the sport, Williams engineer Dave Robson told Autosport. The installation of the camera is fine and does not cause us any problems or disadvantages, he continued. It's all about what we talked about earlier, in terms of what's visible on the dashboard. With us, however, there's nothing special on the dashboard that needs to be hidden. So some teams are going to be okay with the helmet camera, others perhaps not. But which teams would you like to ride along with, and which tracks would you like to see from the driver's perspective? Let us know in the comments section below. I, for one, would have loved to have had the helmet camera on Lewis Hamilton's cockpit when he went off in Baku and gifted the race victory to Sergio Perez. As I say, let us know in the comments section below what you'd like to see. Are there any other places on the car that you'd like to see the cameras put as well? And of course, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with everything we do, news, views, and specials galore here at GP Fans.